Please welcome in Dave Babych. Please welcome him back to the show. He have 1,195 NHL games and a lot of points, 723. Dave, welcome back to the RP show. How you doing, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me, Ron. Again, I guess. It's been a while. It's like an annual thing.
I know. Well, if we're talking about how great the Canucks are, I'm sure you don't mind talking about it. And here we are. I guess it has been like once a year we've had you on. My first question to you, Dave, is this. Is there a team in control of this series in your mind? Canucks or Oilers right now?
Well, you know what? I truly think it's the Canucks. It's not like, because I'm alumni and all that kind of stuff. I'm from Edmonton anyway. No, I think they're in control. I do believe they have a better team. I think their decor is much better than the Oilers. But I think they score by committee, and I think it's just a better all around team. I think it's theirs for the taking, and they've kind of they've let a couple things slide here or there, and that's why it's 2-2.
Yeah, well, now down to a best of three, and you've been through the wars, as I just said, with all these teams. How big of a believer in momentum are you from game to game in a series?
You know what? I think there is momentum, but I think the home crowds are. It's a big deal in the playoffs, especially. I know the energy, especially the energy in Vancouver. It's been crazy. Like we've had sellout viewing parties. And this has been going on right from the start, which is crazy. Usually they'll sell tickets for charity for the lower bowl and everyone has a bunch of fun, but these are sold out. It's bananas in there. Like I went to a few of them, and like I said, the energy here and then especially when it's a real game going on, it's twice as much. And I think if the team uses that energy for their own good, it'll I think it takes those teams past their opponent for sure.
Well, speaking of that, and you were on that run in '94 along with my good friend Tim Hunter. Can you speak to the fans about, you do feel it, right? Whether you're at home or in and out of the rink, talk about the hype and how it is a different season and what it does to you as a player.
Oh, well, it's one of those things where, you do work hard all year, and it's, it's a tough sled, for those 82 or however many games you play. But the playoffs are totally different. It's the players or the groups that can take it to 110%. I know it's big cliche. You take it a little bit further, but you have to, and a lot of times you're injured, you're running on fumes. But it doesn't matter. Those are the teams that are going to win. You have to, in playoffs, you have to win every battle because you don't know, where a bounce is going to cost you a goal. I mean, look what happened at the end of the last game with the Oilers and the Canucks. It's just one little hit behind the net, the puck squirts out. Draisaitl has an open pass to, I guess, Bouchard, and he just blasts her in. Should it have gone in? Lots of screens there, but guys are, their feet are cemented to the ground, not sure who to take or what to take, and it just goes in. But that's what costs or wins you a game.
That's where I think it's like football. We say the team that makes the fewest mistakes wins, and that's kind of what it's been in playoff hockey. But at least you had 7 games in hockey and football. If you have a bad day, you're done because it's a one-game thing.
Yeah.
But, Rich Sutter was on here last week, and he's Canucks alum, as you know, too. But I just want your take on this because Richie said their defensive play, not allowing shots in the house, as he called it, the slot, what Vancouver's doing, limiting opportunities against, that they've been doing all year. I feel like they've ramped it up since Demko went out. What do you see?
Well, I think so. But I think they've been playing pretty solid for a long time, and that's why I said I think their decor is a little more solid than Edmonton's. But a lot of big bodies, especially in the playoffs, when if the D can get their shots past that first guy and get it towards the net, you never know what the hell's going to happen. Look at the comeback that the Canucks made. two went. I think one went off Nurse and one went off of one of the. It looked like it went off Nurse, but I think it was one of the Canuck players goes in the net. These shots weren't going in, originally, but there's so much traffic in front, you just never know. But yeah, you're right. It's they've been blocking it off pretty good. I mean, and Zilov there, like a young goalie, like I said, young and dumb. He's just playing. He's enjoying it. But he's a good goalie. Goaltending's not the Canucks' problem by any means.
No, not at all. He doesn't know the situation he's in. You're right. And you hope he stays in that bubble, which, again, these coaches know the players better than anybody. Like when I heard Pickard was starting game 4, I thought they were joking. He'd never started a playoff game before. But lo and behold, they put him in, and he wins. And I'm like, well, the Oilers know their goalie's certainly better than I do. But I love when they say this is a best-of-3, Dave, because mathematically, yes, but it's not like we're starting fresh here. Again, there's emotions. Susie, with the suspension and stuff, it's not. I don't feel like they're starting fresh, and it's a best-of-3. That's what I'm kind of saying with the momentum and the carryover. Yeah. There's been a lot go on in this series. It's not starting fresh.
Well, it's pretty interesting out here. I mean, you heard what Rick Tocchet was saying about some of his players. Maybe there's a few passengers here or there. And, the thing about that is, listen, everyone's trying, they're going 100% or what they have, whether it's injured or, you're just mentally, you're just having a tough time or you're in a rut, you can't score or whatever. But, you got to give the other team some credit too, that they're actually trying to stop you, and they're chopping the heck out of you. What happened with Susie and Zadorov there and McDavid, I mean, that's Hudson Bay Rules hockey, that's playoff hockey. And not that you never want to see that happen. You really don't, because I think the suspension was warranted, but it's survival of the fittest, and you whittle the other team down until you get your way with them. And I think that's where it's getting. That's what these next 3 games are gonna be a tall tale on what's gonna happen here.
I got one more question for you. You played with so many snipers and stars. What would you say to Elias Pedersen? If I have this right, I think I heard on the radio today he's only got 4 points in 10 games, and he's feeling it. What would you tell a guy like that?
Well, I remember we had Marty Gillina here. Martin Gillina was, terrific player, worked hard, but there's one year he almost scored 40 goals for just a checking winger. He was unbelievable one year, and we would drive to the rink all the time together, and in the playoffs and that night, and he goes, "Oh, Dave," and he was a French guy, he had a little accent. He says, I don't know what's going on. I go, "Marty, just be one with your stick," and I just told him, shoot as hard as you can, close your eyes, as long as you. But Pedersen, he's so good, and I think he's just trying to pick corners too much. These guys know where the openings are and where they got to shoot, but you just got to give a little extra and maybe find the old 49 hole instead of the 5 hole or top corner.
That's a new one. My good friend Dale Durkach, 491 points in junior. You got to heard of Dale Durkach. Great coach. He said to the snipers, if you're struggling, keep doing what you're doing. It's like that saying, when you're going through hell, keep going. Don't stop. Just keep prepping the same way. Ebbs and flows, right? Well, Dave, I always enjoy the chats. Thanks for this. I hope it's not another year until I see you again, and enjoy the game tonight in the series.
Well, I will, and thanks for having me on again. You guys are, Roger, you're doing a great job there, fella.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
Right.
Dave Babych, NHL Great, Whalers, Jets, Canucks.